In store for you, and we will begin things now with our next award, which is in the category of addiction.
This award is for the underdog in all of us. For those of us that push past our fears and go for it despite our adversity and challenge and pain. On July 26, 1991, I began my life searching for the better part of me. And I found it tonight in the better part of you. Thanks for showing this old piece of junk what its true value really is.
Fighting and beating addiction takes a team effort. Without others believing me, I wouldn't be standing here today. I had given up. Through all these people, I was able to find the courage to come back. Through their belief in me, I began to believe in myself.
To present the 2019 award in the category of addiction, please welcome the president of the Javad Mofagian Foundation, Hamid Eshki.
This Courage to Comeback Award recognizes that the person who, in spite of their addiction to drugs or alcohol, has managed to stay in recovery and go on to make significant contribution to society.
I remember wanting to die, but I don't remember feeling much other than that. The idea of the using of the drugs and alcohol was to continue to not feel, suppress.
She was an athlete, riding her bike by 3, playing baseball at 6, excelling at any sport she could sign up for. She was an excellent student, adored by her teachers, loved by her friends. Her life was perfect, or so it seemed. At home, her life was hell. 3 of her uncles had been offering her things for favors, candy for back scratches, the latest Mad magazine for a massage. So when the favors turned to sexual abuse, she thought it was normal. They told her to keep it a secret. They said she would be punished. That's how she found herself at the Christmas dinner table, surrounded by family, terrified that someone would see the blood leaking onto her dress from a violent assault just minutes before they were called to the table. She was 7 years old. Her name is GERI BEMISTER. When GERI was 10, her mother started noticing changes. A once terrific student, now she didn't do her homework. She couldn't sleep. She was impossibly defiant and so angry. She tried sports to relieve the darkness inside, made new friends into drugs, hard drugs, and crime. By 13, she was drinking, smoking weed. She stopped the sexual abuse by threatening to tell her family. And while the actual abuse stopped, the effects of the abuse were relentless, eating away at her, and the worst was yet to come. At 16, her parents split up and GERI began using hard drugs every day. She barely showed up for school. She quit sports altogether. The nightmare that was GERI's life was going from bad to worse. She began selling drugs. She was caught and sent to federal prison at 19 years of age. At the time, the youngest female in a federal penitentiary. Out from prison, she got married. His alcoholism and her drug use ended the marriage 2 years later. Like water draining from a sink, GERI's life was spiraling down. Her organs were failing from her alcohol abuse, so she upped her drug use. She stopped showering. She had sores all over her body. She weighed 90 pounds. If nothing changed, she would die. GERI's mom and sister gave her a choice: go to rehab or never see your family again. On the one hand, it was an easy decision. GERI couldn't live without her family. But on the other hand, it was the hardest decision she would ever make. In June of 2004, GERI went into rehab. But she learned she had breast cancer and she was fighting for her life. But GERI is nothing if she is not a fighter. After a double mastectomy, GERI was cancer-free and sober. Her life was beginning again. And with her sobriety, she discovered her family was First Nations. Researching further, she found relatives she had never met who introduced her to their culture and spiritual practices. And it was here where GERI felt the most profound change. This became the rock on which she would build her new life. GERI completed a BA and a master's degree with honors. She was committed to multiple 12-step programs during her studies and mentored other addicts in early recovery. After graduation, GERI worked with clients undergoing rehab. She became an outstanding member of the BC Centre on Substance Abuse and received an appointment to the Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse and Addiction National Recovery Advisory Committee. She started teaching at Vancouver Island University and North Island College. She created 2 successful consulting companies and agreed to be on the TV show Intervention Canada. GERI has recently told her story in the Vancouver Sun and was the closing spiritual speaker at the 2019 Ontario Regional Conference of Alcoholics Anonymous. GERI overcame impossible odds to build a life overflowing with spirituality and purpose. She reaches out to those lost in the night, offering a beacon of hope that they too might find their way. They trust her because she has been through hell and found her way out.
We do 10K runs for people with cancer, but we don't do fundraisers for people with addiction. It's definitely treatable. Nobody is too far gone.
GERI overcame impossible odds to build a life overflowing with spirituality and purpose, all thanks to her strength, her determination, and her incredible courage to come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Courage to Come Back Award recipient for addiction, GERI BEMISTER.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. And I would like to congratulate my fellow recipients and thank the committee for choosing my story as one worthy of such an honor. Thank you first to my wife for nominating me for this amazing accolade, and for your remarkable resolution in all that you are, and for being my best friend. Thank you to my mother and my sister, for without your courage, compassion, and unwavering love, I would not have made it to recovery. Thank you to my nephews for your inspiration to begin this journey when I didn't love myself. My love for you is what gave me the strength to change. And to my daughter Susie, there is no way to truly thank you for your forgiveness. Your strength of spirit, your kindness and compassion for others is admirable. You are my hero. And thank you to my dad for always inspiring me to understand that there is no ceiling. And thank you to people like, And thank you to people like Dr. Daryl Plekis and your family, and many other strong leaders and mentors who never judged me. They supported me with honesty and respect. My gratitude for your sincerity and leadership. To my students, clients, colleagues, And of course, we can't forget the many therapists and many friends in recovery. You inspire me to enrich my life and to be the best person that I can be every day. This time in my life is profound. The journey to this exact moment in time has been complex, terrifying, and incomprehensible at times, but utterly amazing at others. To share my most vulnerable and darkest sides, my pain, and also with my success with all of you is not easy. I am so honest with my story as it gives great purpose to my life. My elders told me to share my story. They said it would heal me and it would help to heal others. One thing I know for sure about trauma is that it is ingrained in every part of the being. The psyche also holds on to trauma. It creates patterns that control us. The wanting to renegotiate the trauma internally and free that emotional energy is where externally we see addictions appear. The keys to my recovery have been my ability to renegotiate that trauma on the 7 levels of emotional intelligence, opening up the places where my trauma was stored and navigating my own interior to learn how to live a healthy life. The most important key is the abstinence-based recovery that is the foundation for my life. This critical element is well proven to treat addiction, and without it, I surely would not be standing here with all of you tonight. Addiction is a treatable, progressive, and fatal illness, and without help, people will not recover. My story is not tragic. My story is not even uncommon. Thank you for holding space in time and being open to the vulnerability required to share the message of recovery and possibility. My story is mine, and I'm so grateful to have shared it all with you tonight. The dress weighs a ton.